would appreciate it. Thank you.
Before you start, did anybody put a sign over there that it's here?
No, because we've always had it. We've never held a
Oh,
meeting
okay.
over there.
Okay.
So we're gonna go ahead and start the city council meeting for Tuesday, July 11th, 2023 at 7 p.m. We can all stand for the pledge of allegiance, please. Ready? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
and
to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm gonna go ahead and, if I can get a vote on the meeting agenda for tonight.
Let's call. And roll call.
Sorry.
Roll call.
Councilmember Diana.
Here.
Councilmember Antonio.
Here.
Councilmember Ann.
Here.
Councilmember Vera.
Here.
Councilmember Tootie.
Here.
Moment of silence. Okay. Now I can get a vote on the meeting agenda tonight.
I make a motion to vote on the meeting agenda.
I have a motion by Diana,
I second the motion.
a second by Diane. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Excuse me, who was your second one? Ann. Oh. Okay. So we have visitors in this evening, so you're going to be 3 minutes at the podium, is what you're going to be able to have at the podium this evening. Okay, so if you'd like to start, Beatrice,
And start what?
you want to have something you want to bring up to council?
No, let somebody else do it.
Okay, so whoever would like to say something, go ahead and step up to the podium. Okay. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nora Schneider, Schneider. I live at 321 Golden Road, Mabton, Washington. And I need my glasses. I'm concerned about that fire burning at near 230 Golden Road. It doesn't have an address, the property that belongs to the city of Mabton. And Mayor, I spoke with you by phone on June 28th regarding the fire on the city-owned property on Golden Road next to 230 address. I informed you the smoke from the fire was impacting our home, having to turn off my air conditioning HVAC system because the system was pulling air and smoke into our home. The inundation of smoke has continued off and on since that time, running for the thermostat at the slightest smell of smoke in our home. I have asthma, and you stated you did as well. You all know the smell of a cigarette. The smoldering burn is small, but the smoke encompasses a large area. We are protected by a law that states smoke cannot impede our enjoyment of our property. You have the obligation to extinguish the fire. By definition, smoldering is a fire. This is the city's responsibility to be a good neighbor by extinguishing now and being in compliance with the burn ban that's now in effect since July 1st. I spoke with you concerning toxic fumes. You assured me that it was only natural vegetation. I have since learned that there is building material in the bottom of the pit coming from a demolished building on B Street. The mayor and the city council members at the time agreed to place demolished materials in the pit. That decision should be documented in the city council minutes. There's asphaltic materials, railroad ties, and random plastic materials which should have been legally disposed in a landfill. I'm concerned for the air we are breathing and leaching chemicals into our wells, which in that area we all have. You have been aware of this fire for 17 days, maybe possibly 16. what is your plan of action to extinguish this fire to become compliant with the no burn ban and the law that states no one can inhibit the enjoyment of someone's property? The law is stated in the regulation of the Clean Air Authority found on yakimacleanair.org.
So I did talk to you, Nora, a few weeks ago, and I did explain to you that the fire department could not go out there and, because that was what was relayed to me, through our, chief of the fire department, which is Luke Cousins. And he did reach out to Yakima County, and Yakima County did inform him as well that they were not going to come out unless the fire was in flames. So that's when I asked you, you would like to reach out to 911, call them out and see if they would come out since you live out there, you're a citizen out that way. And I don't know if they did, but I know our officers were on duty, that night watching the fire. I had one of my public workers out there till 8:30 that night as well, like I had explained to you, watching to see if the fire was going to get any bigger. And I did have Clean Air Authority did come in today, and we did talk about the pit. So what he explained to me is, I don't know how to explain it, but he said that after everything that's been thrown on there, which you're bringing to my attention about all the stuff that's been thrown in there before me, I was not aware of that. So these are my new council, and I'm fairly new, so the ones that would really know would be Vera and Tootie, because they've been on the council for, quite some time. But back to what Clean Air Authority told me today was all the stuff that's been thrown on, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and there is no, no air for the moisture to get dry. So it starts to create, after time, the dryness starts to get hot and it catches fire. So that's what he explained to me. And I told him I had no idea, that that's how it worked. I'm not out there. I don't see. I just know that the guys throw debris. And I know that that's what they're supposed to be throwing. I had no idea about the other stuff. So I am sorry. I will look into it. But as far as putting it out, we cannot put it out. And he told us that today again. He's like,
Can put it out.
well,
So what's the reason?
he said, well, one, the fire department will come out and put it out. He says it'll just start up again. He's like, and that, you don't want that. He's like, you don't want it to start back up because it's gonna start and it's gonna smolder more and it's gonna take longer. No, I had no idea, to be honest, that it was still burning.
Yeah, it is still burning. We left our home at 5:00 in the morning, July 3rd. There was a clear layer of smoke drifting over Javier's home, which he's right directly across the street in that triple wide, and into Mabton. And it was going the opposite way of us. But when it's not, we still are smelling smoke. Like I said, a cigarette smoke is the impact of a cigarette smoke is wide and large. I cannot believe that there's nothing that can be done with this. The proper way that you could do this is dig it out with an excavator. At the same time, put water on it to not create more of a smolder. So what I'm hearing from you, that I have to put up with the smolder until it's done. And this has been being dumped on for years and years, and it's continuing. Today, they dumped more.
They were out there today.
Yeah, and I'll let Lonnie talk.
So I know that Joe and me spoke, which is my public works lead, and this is what Clean Air Authority told me that we should do. And I talked to Joe about it, so I'm not sure if they were out there doing with the backhoe or not, but he said the best thing we should do is build another hole deeper. So that way, when they start dumping into that, they start spreading it instead of just piling it. Because he said when it becomes piled, that's when you start getting the dryness and nothing's escaping, and that's how your fire is going to start.
Internal combustion.
Mm-hmm.
But internal combustion starts with dry on catches on fire, and that's what happened this year.
And he said that we need to spread it out.
Yeah,
So that's why, they should have gone out there. My understanding is that they're throwing it out at the dumpster at wastewater. But back to what me and Joe were talking about, making the hole bigger and spreading it from now on, if we need to go back out there. The thing is, I don't want to have to go back out there. I want them to start using the dumpster because I don't want this to continue right now because we can't get it under control. And Judy, I don't know, did you go out to that fire when it took place?
Yep.
So were you guys able to put it out, or were you asked not to put it out, or what
We
happened?
put the flames out and everything and cut down on the smoke and everything, but like she said, it's down underground where it was covered and it just kept on smoldering on until it gets to the top and the smoke comes out.
It's still smoldering today.
So,
It's still smoldering
And I know
today.
exactly what you're saying because we had a fire out, car fire right just out on Christensen Road. And when I drove by it on the truck, you could see that layer of smoke.
Yes.
And you guys were covered, Billy Korstad and then
And
other houses
the Happy
over
Hour doll
Lloyd,
band.
Lloyd. All of those, you could see that layer of smoke just hovering right there over them.
what I can do is tomorrow we can send, the guys out there, but I need to see, make sure we're gonna be able to have the backup of the fire department if something should go up, you know? If they go and start moving stuff, I don't want it to catch on fire.
Because it should be excavated, and at the time of excavation, water put on, so that does not happen. And, because there is a way to put it out. It's gonna take time and manpower, but it has to be done, because you're not in compliance with the Clean Air Authority rules and the burn ban that is in our county. And it's not gonna be out since, till September. I think they're gonna re-evaluate in September if it's gonna be, continued, the burn ban. or
You need to
not.
go around outside.
It's tough to live around that all the time.
So what we can do is I can talk to the guys tomorrow, see if they can go out there and, spread it. I just know that we're gonna have to have the fire department out there too, if something should happen, you know.
You have to do it in accordance with water, and hand in hand with water.
Excuse me. Yeah, so, you know, I'm just relaying what I was told today from, Clean Air Authority, what we can do, just to make another pit, start spreading everything out, you know.
And you heard that today, and so what is your,
I'm gonna send the guys out there tomorrow, see if we can start spreading what's there in hopes that it does not catch on fire. You know, I don't want it to catch on fire. Once you see them out there, if you could give me a call, you have my number.
Yeah.
I'd appreciate it.
and then the wind picks up and it starts it again.
Yeah.
I mean, it reinvigorates it.
So hopefully it
I
won't be
think-
windy. I know there was a little breeze today,
Yeah.
so hopefully there won't be a breeze. If there's a breeze, I won't let them start, you know, to do it, just because we don't wanna.
So they put new grass clippings and plastics. There is asphalt down there as well, and railroad ties that have been treated with creosote. And it's all smoldering. You know, there's been no mitigation to take that stuff out and to have it not be so toxic to all of our neighbors and into Mabton. It was caught crossing Allison Road into Mabton the morning we left on June 3rd. I think Lonnie wants to speak now.
Just to follow up on that, basically, I'd like to ask a question. How many of you have been to this area? Have seen it for yourself?
I've been there.
Yeah. So maybe it'd be a good idea if you all look at it, take a close look. We're talking about a skinny piece of property, and at the far end, it goes into a pit, you could call
Gravel
it.
pit.
And that pit was used in 1920 to open up
Right, it
gravel
was
the
used for
roads.
gravel. So
Mining-
gravel was
mining.
removed to basically do your streets here in town. So over the years, things have dumped when all of downtown streets were redone, all the concrete, pavement, excess junk went out there. That's where they all put it. They put it in this pit. This pit, if you go there and look at it, it's an eyesore, total eyesore. You'll see concrete sticking out everywhere. It's never been smoothed off. You have a big ugly mound at the beginning. You drive down to the end of it, and here's your small pit, which I really don't think is big enough. You could get a backhoe in there and maybe level it like they're talking about. It's not very big, but it's a problem. That's going to be a problem for the city, and it really needs to be addressed. So out of curiosity, I called Grandview. What do you do with your grass clippings? Grandview is under the Beetle, right? So they take it to Alba's pit, Alba, and then the Department of Ag comes and picks it up and they dispose of it free. So where is Mabton? Has anyone checked for the beetle?
Well,
We
yeah.
are in the beetle.
Oh, yeah, they
area,
already came out
quarantine.
to spray here.
Right.
Yeah, they sprayed, they came out, they were at the city hall.
Did they spray
taking
all the yards?
information. Yep, they sprayed
Did they?
yard. My yard got,
Good.
yep, everything. Well, I'm not gonna say everyone's yard got sprayed because a lot of people denied them
Yeah,
to spray,
but
but
the
my
parks-
yard, the parks here got sprayed. So, we
My-
did get that done.
And so I called the city of Sunnyside just to see what they do with their grass clipping. Goes right into a dumpster. That dumpster goes right to a landfill. So they're getting rid of it right away. It's not sitting around. So I guess what I'm saying for the future, so you don't have another problem coming up, you need to have a plan. You need to have something in place where it's not gonna sit out there and who knows when it's gonna go into flame.
Just so you know, I'm only a year and a half into term.
I know,
These guys, well, my public works lead, that's where it's always gone since he's
Right.
been here. He's been here well over five and a half years, I wanna say, Joe. So that's what he was showing by his lead,
right?
but after talking to him today, we were gonna go ahead and start throwing it in the dumpster. And, we'll get that taken care of, and if you see anybody out there, I call the city hall.
Yeah, thank you. I will.
I care, I do.
Because I care about my neighborhood. I care about having a safe environment for the kids. Javier has 3 young kids, and how many times has this home been covered with smoke? And it's concerning. It's really concerning. Knowing that there's that building material that was improperly placed there years ago, and it's down there. And who knows what's in it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, and I
So
agree.
is there an after-hours phone call, a phone number that they can use?
911.
911.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And
Thank
we'll
you.
look into it tomorrow and I'll follow up with you.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that so much.
Anyone else?
Okay, my name is Adriana Luna. I have been a resident here in Mabton since 2012. I'm here as a concerned resident to draw your attention to the ongoing water quality issue in our city. As you are aware, the unpleasant smell and potential contamination of our water supply has been significant concern for our community. While efforts have been made to rectify the issue, it's crucial to acknowledge the inconvenience and potential health risks residents are currently facing in light of these circumstances. I respectfully request that the City Council consider temporarily lowering our water bills until the water quality has been restored. Clean and safe water is a basic necessity as citizens, we rely on our local government to provide us with a reliable supply. The presence of the unpleasant odor, along with concerns over contamination, has disrupted our daily lives and compromised our faith in the water systems. By temporarily reducing water bills, the City Council would demonstrate its commitment to the well-being and satisfaction of its residents. Lowering the financial burden associated with the inadequate water supply would provide some relief to affected households and reflect a genuine understanding of the challenges we are facing. Furthermore, this gesture should underscore the City Council's dedication to resolving the water quality issues in a timely and efficient manner. It would serve as a testament to your commitment to ensuring that the residents are not burdened with the full cost of service that does not meet expected standards. I kindly request that the City Council seriously consider this proposal. The residents of our community look to you as our representatives to safeguard our interests and promote our welfare. By taking this step, you will alleviate some of the financial strains caused by this ongoing situation and reinforce the trust and confidence we have in our local government. We also request that you keep the community informed throughout the process. Transparent communication will help alleviate concerns and provide reassurance to the residents. Regular updates regarding progress of the investigation, proposed solutions, and timelines for resolution should be shared with the public via various channels such as the city website, social media platforms, local news outlets. In the meantime, it would be beneficial to provide residents with temporary alternatives to water sources such as bottled waters, anything that you guys can think of, until the issue is fully resolved. This will ensure that the residents have access to clean and odor-free water for the immediate needs. Finally, the health and well-being of our residents should always be a top priority and no effort should be spared in resolving this matter as swiftly as possible. By working together as a community, we can address this concern and restore the quality of our water supply. And I encourage all residents to voice their experiences, concerns during the city meeting, as it serves as an essential platform to collaboration and finding effective solutions. Thank you for your attention and to this matter. I sincerely hope you will give a careful consideration to our request for understanding and support during this challenging time, and it's greatly appreciated. Also, I would like to add, this letter, I emailed it to all of you. Okay, I did not get a response. I posted it on social media so people can also voice their opinions that way. I don't know if anybody reached out to you, but I know I did.
I did receive it.
Okay, I used the email that's provided on the website.
I don't think any of us have.
I got it.
But I did see your post.
I see it.
Yeah, I encourage everybody here in City Mabton, the City of Mabton, to come forward and speak about this because we all have children. And sitting here for a whole hour, hearing conversations between the councils, talking about, I drink the water, I haven't gotten sick, kudos for you. We have children. We have children, and we are concerned for our children because we bathe in that water. We cook with that water. And it's very smelly. Our washing machines, they're getting moldy. They're getting gray things around it. Okay? Another thing that was brought up actually in the social media. There was a budget that was approved last year. What happened?
There was no budget approval. I looked into that today.
Did you?
So, thank you. You can have a seat. You all go ahead and go over everything.
All right.
So, I know the issue with the water is bad. It's terrible. I'm not saying it's not. And I know, that it's being worked on. It has been being worked on for many years. And they put a lot of money into it. The former mayors did, redoing the whole water tower, the wells and everything. We just had the towers cleaned. And when I mean cleaned, I mean, we had divers in there doing the work. We had to bring professionals in to do the diving. I want to say maybe 6 weeks ago, 7 at the most. So, the towers are good and they're clean. Our chlorine levels are low right now. And it's going to take a bit for them to come back up because, the tower is big, and what you're smelling right now is the sulfur and the iron mixing together. And the iron is controlling the chlorine. So that's why we're getting that smell of like rotten egg. And I mean, you have to understand the pipes in the underground, they're old. They haven't been changed out. I think there's only been a portion of the city that has been, but the rest of the city has not. So the lines are all connected. So we're gonna get that ground no matter what, unless they're all changed out. We are working on that. We're trying, actually last meeting, if you would have been here, you would have heard, we did have our engineer that does take care of the water for us and all of the planning and all the wells, the information that we get for the wells. There was a grant that we could have got, but it was too close to a deadline that we had to meet. And I think we were like a week and a half, we had to do all the paperwork, figure out all our budget, and we didn't meet the deadline for that. But even at that, we were told that we have to pay this loan back in 20 years because it was a match grant. And it was gonna be a lot of money. And he didn't feel that we were gonna be able to really pay that back. What? Yeah, we have to raise the water rates again. The water rates were raised before I came in, and this was during Mario, I wanna say. So, it's really important that you all attend council meetings. I know these rates, we can't make them go down. Because we were, if I understand, we were audited at one time.
We have to prove, if you get a loan
Yeah.
or grant, especially if it's half and half, you have to prove to them that you have the way of paying it back.
Mhm.
And if you don't, so when we raised our water rates a little at a time, that was because we were told we had to do that, so that we would meet what they needed.
Yeah, so it's not that we as the city want to raise the water rates. You know, I live here, I don't want the water rates to go up, you know, none of us do. But, you know, I was one sitting out there when these water rates were gonna go up. And here it was up here and I was fighting it. I'm like, why are we getting the water raise? And this was, Mario was here, what, 12 years, well, he was here
And
4 years.
13 and 214,
Yeah,
excuse me.
so, you know, this.
They make a big mess
Yeah.
back then. Those guys that was to make the problem in the town.
You know.
We have a really, really bad city council and a really, really bad mayors back then. They never do nothing. The water bill was $80. Right now it's almost $300. I pay $370 a month myself. No, I'm sorry, but that's what it is.
No,
That's what it
when you
is.
guys
I'm
say,
sorry,
yeah,
that's
We're
what it is.
paying water, we're paying water and garbage and sewage, right, Vera?
pardon me?
We're paying
But
water,
why do you
sewage.
guys say city council?
Yeah,
We have nothing to
We have
do with
To
administration.
administration.
Please realize that.
So,
okay.
Stop pointing your
so,
finger.
okay. So, back to, you know, let's get back to the grant and stuff that, you know, we want to get all the pipes changed out. Unfortunately, we have to try again in August.
So are we looking
I
at
mean, in
another
March.
raise in our water bill? Is that what we're looking at?
What's that?
At another raise?
No, as long as I'm here, they're not gonna
Then
get
it
raised.
stay like the way we pay.
Yeah, they're
We
not
can
gonna
do
get
nothing.
raised.
It's already changed a long time
You
ago.
need to step up.
Pueden hablar español y alguien les puede interpretar. Tienen algún comentario. So my name is Teresa Vargas. I live on 617 Front Street. I've been a resident for over 30 years. And I think in the past 8-10 years, we've heard the same thing. They're gonna fix the water. They're gonna fix the water. Every summer is the same thing. It's frustrating. We have little ones. We can't even drink the water, not even to cook or bath. So what are we doing? I know she asked the same question, but it's every single year the same thing.
So
We're
this
working on the
is-
water, we're working, we're flushing, we're doing, and nothing has been done.
So the guys are flushing, they know, they can only flush so many times. I know they were flushing only 2 times a year, which was spring and fall. Now I have them doing like, when somebody comes in, hey, you know, go flush it, go flush Maple. They didn't see you out there, go out there. You know, hey, we need second flush, the guys are out there. I mean, we can only flush the lines so many times. This is barely my second summer. I have not said I'm gonna fix the water. I'm saying we are trying to get money to fix it, but we missed the deadline. So I think we're gonna apply back, is it in March? Larry?
March 2024, yes.
Yeah, March 2024, but that's if we can match it. If we can't match that, we can't. And even at that, if we were able to get that grant and meet it, that we're not gonna get the piping done right away. It's gonna take a couple of years. And even at that, everybody's gonna be complaining because the roads are gonna be a mess. When are you gonna get it finished? When's it gonna get done? You know, it's not gonna get done overnight. It's gonna take years before it's gonna get done, because that's how government works.
So what's priority, the roads or our health? Because I was gone 5 days. I came back home, I couldn't even clean the toilet of all that rust or whatever it is. Can you imagine what that is doing to our stomach, to our bodies? I can't imagine.
Well, I mean, we
So,
do not have the
I
money,
mean,
Teresa, what am
what
I
else
You
supposed
have
to
a code
do?
enforcement all over town,
Yes.
all over town. In our water, it's bad.
The only thing that we're looking forward to, and I know this isn't a solution, pipes and stuff, we did buy water rights. And we are drilling 2 shallow wells for it, so that should bring water, but it's not gonna solve it if it's our pipes and stuff like that.
The
water,
pipes, you have to
clean water's
understand,
not gonna.
the pipes are over 80 years old throughout the city. I mean, they rusted. I have a piece, oh, Larry, you'll probably have to go get it. It's heavy. Joe pulled something out of the ground and it's awful. It's gross. So I can only imagine what our pipes look like, because he pulled this out. It's an old pipe. He's like, this is what it looks like, Mayor. And I'm like, this isn't good. And I mean, I'm not trying to, you know, say things that you guys want to hear. I'm simply saying, it's not gonna be done, and it's not gonna be done overnight. It's gonna take time. It's gonna take years, you know, because the money is not there. We have to match and we have to pay so much every year. And that's why we do have a code enforcer now, because we're trying to enforce people building fences, doing roofing, doing stuff without, you know, you have to come in. People say, well, where does that money go? Well, if we're getting money to come in, that helps, you know, meet and match. It shows, you know, what we need to show. It shows what's coming in. But as long as nothing's coming in, we can't show that we're eligible for any kind of funding to pay this money back. So you have to see where we stand on this side, you know, the government side, the city side. I would love to get all these done right away, but we can't.
What if the city goes on a riot and everybody turns off their water and doesn't use it? What would happen? I mean, because we're buying our own water. Everyone in here is buying
I pay my
drinking water
water
and
too.
drinking water. So what would happen? I mean, would the government come in and take over? Would,
They may,
I think
because we're to the
you
point
can
of doing that.
You can get to a point of state of emergency.
Yes, we
And
need to.
I don't know,
This is
maybe
so
that's
dangerous for our
something
kids,
that
for our
people
health, for our elderly people.
Totally agree.
My parents are here in town. They're not doing well. My
I-
kids are here.
and
I mean,
you
I'm
know,
talking for all these ladies that they're all concerned. And we
I'm
need to do
concerned,
something
you
about
know,
it soon.
I get calls every day. I do. You know, the girls get, you know, you guys have to learn how to control yourselves as well. Because when you call the city hall or you come in yelling, that doesn't help the situation. You know, if they can't do anything, I can't do anything, our council can't do anything. What are we supposed to do? It's not like we can go and change pipes. We are
What are you
simply,
there for then?
what?
If you can't do anything, what are you there for?
We can't go and change pipes.
But you
What-
can do
what-
something more like what she was saying, right? State of an emergency.
Yes, we can do that, but you have to do that. But what I'm saying is, why do you guys feel like you can come and attack us? We can't go change the pipes. We're doing what we can.
A lot of us don't have.
Could I talk to
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
You know, I had to call in a citizen the other day because she was cussing at the front counter at the girls, and I'm in my office and I'm like, come on back, you know, we're not gonna do that. You know, yes, we are public servants, but at the same time, you guys can be arrested for that. You're obstructing, you know, so you have to keep in mind, you come in and cuss, we will have you guys arrested. You know, because the girls, it's out of their control.
But that's something personal. That's something.
No, that's
I mean,
not
it's not
personal,
personal.
that's
It's-
not
it's-
personal.
I think we're all-
Teresa,
We're being civil.
yeah,
being
well,
civil.
yes, I know, but there's some people that come
You should
in.
send out letters stating that,
You know.
don't disrespect our staff. because,
No, I
you know,
just,
that's
when
not
I
what
hear it,
we
it's
do.
like, come on, it's disturbing because the girls are being nice. They're like, well, you know, we're telling you the chlorine levels aren't up and stuff like that, you know? And I'm not saying that I'm backing them up. Maybe they have been rude. I haven't heard it, but that's one thing I've told them. You guys need to be nice. They're paying your paycheck. And I've made it clear to everybody, even my public works. You all get a paycheck because of the citizens of Mabton. And if you can stop them anytime, and they will tell you that I have told them that.
So, my name is Maria Rivera. I live in 7th and Road. And I'm here because of the water. And I do hear where, you know, I get your point where, you know, you have been here so many years, but you have been a resident and you live here
Oh,
and you have gone through this. So I would have, you know, like do something because you know this is coming because we suffered that last year. We suffered this year. But I feel like there's nothing to be, you know, not hecho nada. But it's, if you know it's coming, like why not set aside some kind of help to, I mean, we're paying $250, you know, on
So-
water. Wait, let me finish. On water, on the water bill, and then on top of that, I'm buying, you know, jugs to, I have a home baker, so I have to buy jugs. I have to, you know, double up on my water for all my cooking, for all my cleaning, for all my kids, and it's, you know, it's besides the $220 something that I paid, now I'm spending as much to buy water. And you would think that if you know this is coming, you would set aside some money to, have the residents have some water, some kind of help. Because, lowering the water, you guys, there's nothing you can do. You're not gonna lower the water bill, but at least get help and at least have some kind of backup for the residents for this situation. And this is where, nothing's been done for years and years and years. We blame whoever did whatever years back, but what are you doing now to help the Mabton,
Well,
residents?
Maria, like I said, when we were told at the last meeting about this money, we tried, but it was only a week and a half, and Larry's fairly new, and, he had to look for, numbers that they needed, because it's not just applying. We have to go back and look, because they asked for certain, money that we have. What did you guys spend? What's this? Where did you spend your money? And we didn't have all of that.
This is my first, meeting that I attend. I don't know if this is out of line, but I'm gonna ask anyway. I know that you have your new members, you have your member of council that been, here longer. Like I said, this is my first, I'm gonna say it anyway. I heard they are getting paid less than the newer ones. The newer ones are paying. Yeah, I'm just asking, I'm just saying. I don't know if this is something that we can, as residents, look, if everybody's getting paid the same.
Information provided for the residents?
Because
It's public record. Everything is public record.
Where can we
Yes.
find that public record? Where
You
we
can
find
go in and ask for public records request, and you will.
my other question is that the parking lot that is being built over there, what is that?
That's a park and ride.
Parking right for?
So that is.
Because we're like, water sucks and we're having a parking
Okay,
right.
so let me tell you guys.
I'm just saying,
So everything that's done here, let me tell you, everything that is done here in Mabton, roads, park and ride, anything you guys see being done, it's not done with city money. It's grant money. Everything is grant money, because we do not have that kind of money. And that's what I'm saying. So that was with the grant that Laura got when she was here. And so, things, got done when she was here, that Mario had done. He did all the planning, he did certain things, but it takes 5 to 7 years for something to get done. We're pretty lucky we're getting this right now, a year out.
Maybe we should get grant money for water next year. Because if we're gonna be doing this next year,
That's
maybe.
Maria, that's what I'm saying. We're trying to, but we have to meet that. They're gonna pay, I think it was like Larry, what was the number that we have to come up with to meet the grant?
157,000 a year.
So anyway, like I said, I have a daycare. I have had stomach aches. I have had kids not show up. I have had kids with just rashes. I have had kids, in this week, I have not had a complete turn because of rashes, stomach ache, diarrhea, and all kinds of, things that you think,
I'm
is this the
sorry,
water?
I am sorry. I've lived here too, Maria, all my life.
No, and I know, but
Like I said, I've been on that side fighting water as well.
and I see it and I know, but the thing is that, you saying that is not fixing the problem, because again, if there's money, grant or whatever,
I'm saying,
I'm gonna say en español para
again,
expresarme mejor, porque en serio, o sea, si estás mirando lo que va a pasar, pasó el año pasado, va a pasar este año, era para que dijeras, ¿sabes qué? Vamos a agarrar este dinero, vamos a tratar de buscar dinero para que los residentes tengan agua, ¿no? Porque it's like, o sea, desde los ancianos hasta los niños.
But you have to
Pero sentarte
understand.
y decir, yo he pasado esto, yo he estado de este lado, pues no estás arreglando ningún
But you
problema.
have to understand.
I think where we're at, and I think all of you are gonna agree, let's contact whoever we need to contact for a state of an emergency, if we qualify.
Because you have to qualify as well.
That's
right.
right.
So we can, if we as residents need to sign
That
anything.
you might have to.
I'm more than welcome.
Because we can stand here and argue
Yeah.
and, talk about it. I'm upset too. I paid $245 for my water. My toilet's like somebody's gone to the bathroom in it all the time.
Yeah, another thing I'm gonna add, it's like, I have a water meter in front of my, and I'm not saying I'm, watching that water meter, but I can tell you, I can honestly say, I have never, ever, ever, ever seen somebody go check the water meter.
I can tell you in the wintertime they do.
No, we're talking about now, we're
Yeah.
not talking about the winter time. And I'm the type of person that I will clean and I will take the rocks and I will take the, leaves and I will clean it up. Never, ever, ever seen somebody go
So I'll
up there
look in
and-
tomorrow to see who has your route, because
And
they're
yeah.
all different routes.
Yeah, I mean,
And all
mine
that
is on
stuff.
the other side, I already know, so it's like, okay, well, let me know when they go check, so I can go check, because it's like, that's very.
So just really quick, let me just kind of tell you, when you come into the office and you say, I pay $150 for water. No, you don't pay $150 for water. You pay $49.85 for water. Your water is on the top. That's what your water is. If you go down, you're gonna have a service charge, which is $11.47.
What's the service?
$11.47 for the service charge.
Oh, you got
What is the?
So I'm assuming for when they go out, read the meters.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So, okay?
Thank you.
Just to read the meters?
She just said, no, he goes out there and checks, and she
So-
still gets charged.
But,
$11?
okay, so, but I don't know that. She can say it. I don't know. I'm gonna look into it. I have to come to the defense of my public works as well.
You're not even good, I mean, you're the mayor. You should
Well, that's
stay-
why-
You should keep control of yourself.
What am I doing? I'm saying I have to back them up. I have to ask
So you
them.
know different.
I can't just say, oh, go and attack them. I can't do that. I'm not like that. I will sit here and back up my counsel as well. If I still feel someone's attacking you and I know you're in the right, I would come to your defense, her defense, her defense, her defense, and just defense. That's the way I am.
Well, I think
People
as-
paint me out to be different, but I'm not.
I think
So let me
as
go back to
council,
this.
Rachel, as council and citizens, we're gonna have to start working together better. This is something that we're citizens, all of us. We all live here too.
And we all pay a water bill, just like
And I've
you.
lived here 73 years, so I know exactly what we're all talking about.
This has always been. I've been
Yeah.
here 70 years and it's always been like
I've lived
this.
here 50 years.
But we
You know?
just have to learn to give our opinions and.
As residents of Mabton, since all of you have been here way longer than me, we have to literally stand up here and tell you that the water is bad, instead of you preparing, instead of us having to come over here and tell you that the water is bad. You as council members, you as the mayor should already prepare in the future for a case like this.
Are you saying that the water?
Can I
this
say
year
something?
has been this
Can I say
way
something? Can I say
always?
something?
Because
That's,
mine
I'm
has,
saying that you have been here
I
longer
know,
than me.
but I'm telling you,
This lady-
our water problem has not been
We
as
can't
bad as it is this year, ever, as long as I've.
But it's been an ongoing issue.
It has off and on, but never the smell. I've never had the smell in my house till this time. The dirty water either. So I think it's gotten worse for whatever reason, I don't know.
And it's not like I'm not doing my part. We're looking. I'm looking into things that we can do. But when you don't have the money, you can't do it.
Mayor,
Yes.
he can tell you.
I want to say something there. They okay if we ask, the people or whatever, when they have the difference in the water billing, since when they got the difference for water billing? When you guys remember, like, for how long your bill was changed for 140 to 160, 180, or 110, or 120? In 1 month, what part of the year your bill changed?
I can go back, I know my water bills.
Because,
Because I know when I moved here, I
honestly,
was paying
I'm a
like
city
80
council, but I've been telling the people that I pay always 370, 340 every month. I never change my bill. Even I pay for 465 gallons of water or 470 cubic feet. It's the same in winter and summer. That's my point. If you guys have any questions, that's my point. And we are city council, and we need to do something about it.
go up? Yeah, she's gonna come up first.
El problema que estamos
Su
teniendo
nombre
aquí,
y su dirección, por
ok,
favor.
perdón. Mi nombre es Sonia Rosales y vivo aquí en 104 8th Street. El problema aquí no es el bill ni el dinero. Pienso que es la calidad de las, es lo que nos importa, creo, a todos. Y queremos una solución. no queremos pelear, ni vinimos a pelear, ni nada. Queremos una
Como
solución.
dije, la solución es que ahorita perdimos el tiempo para un grant que estaba hace 2 semanas y apenas en el último junta nos dijeron, tuvimos como una semana y medio para tratar de a ver si podíamos cualificar, pero como Larry es nuevo, teníamos que mirar y buscar números que el gobierno nos piden, pues, el Estado, que nos piden para el préstamo. Y no nomás es de prestarnos el dinero, tenemos que saber si la ciudad va a poder pagar ese dinero para atrás, porque tenemos 20 años, pero también tenemos que estar en prueba que el ciudad está haciendo ese dinero para pagar ese préstamo para atrás. Es como comprar un carro. No te van a vender un carro si no tienes trabajo o no tienes dinero entrando para pagar el carro.
Entonces,
So,
¿qué podemos hacer? Todo Mabton, no sé, algo tenemos que hacer para que esto, para que nos escuchen, no nomás aquí en Mabton venir a decir, oh, esto está pasando. Ir a Olimpia, podemos hacer algo grande, porque esto va a pasar ahorita con nosotros, a rato con los que van para arriba y esto.
Yo tengo uno en relación con Bruce Chandler, que es un representante del estado, y Lynn Ledon, que viene aquí a las juntas. Les voy a hablar a ver si podemos tener una junta con ellos, si me dan chance de tener una junta yo con ellos dos para ver qué podemos hacer, o con mi equipo en la oficina, qué podemos hacer, en qué manera nos pueden ayudar.
Porque necesitamos movernos como comunidad, unirnos para que nos escuchen. Somos una comunidad muy pequeña, pero si nos unimos nos pueden escuchar, ya sea, no estamos solos, abandonados, yo pienso. Yo no sé de política ni nada, pero pienso que entre todos podemos hacernos escuchar.
Sí, y unirnos. Y dijiste la palabra. La cosa es que a veces los residentes no se quieren unir con los de la ciudad porque ellos piensan que nosotros somos los malos. Cuando no lo hacemos, nosotros no tenemos control del agua, como yo les digo. Lo que estamos haciendo, y vamos a comenzar a buscar y comenzar a buscar los números que vamos para marzo, porque tenemos que tener esa aplicación para marzo, para ver si vamos a cualificar, para cambiar todas las pipas en la ciudad. Yo ya tengo años peleando eso, pero como uno no sabe hasta que se siente acá en este lado sabiendo el dinero que hay y el dinero que no hay. Y cómo nos hacen los caminos, como el parking ride. ¿Para qué queremos parking ride? Pues esos dinero que nos andan dando. Ok, pues, ¿qué vamos a hacer con ese dinero? Ellos te dicen lo que tienes que hacer con el dinero. Am I correct? When we get money, funding and stuff, they tell you what you have to do with that money. They tell you what you have to do with it. We don't get a certificate. It's designated. Yeah.
Sí, es que hay personas aquí que se levantan a las 2 de la mañana, hicieron el esfuerzo yo les dije, tenemos que ir porque nos tenemos que hacer escuchar.
Ya, yo los invito a todos que vengan cada principio de mes, y mi pago son $100 al mes de aquí, si alguien lo quiere saber. Gasto 3 horas cada meeting, son $100 por mes. Si alguien me lo quiere pagar, no lo pueden pagar.
Y a veces vamos a las juntas, no pagan las juntas.
Sí, you still get 60.
Ya no pagan las juntas.
Pero otras CIRs ganan 200, 220.
Bueno, pues nosotros era lo que queríamos que nos escucharan, que queríamos una solución.
Pero ¿qué va a ser la solución?
But this is nice. I'm going to reach out to my state representatives and see what they can help us with.
Yeah, because if we
And-
can see
and in
this
2
lady
weeks-
over there, that's a burden for her to have to buy water and then pay for her water at the same time. Or her daycare.
Yeah, and it's for everybody.
Todos están preocupados.
And I'm gonna be honest.
Demasiada agua.
Yo tomo mi agua de la casa porque I was raised here, yo me crié aquí, so yo me baño, yo como quiera sigo viviendo, ¿me entiendes? Yo tengo que seguir mi vida. Yo ahorita tengo esto porque no estoy aquí, pero en mi casa yo tomo del agua de la llave.
Yo no tomo agua de la llave, porque está bien mala, ¿sabe qué? Está bien mala, yo no la, si la tomo me duele el estómago, yo no la puedo tomar. Okay, muchas gracias.
Gracias. So we're gonna go ahead and
Hagan lo que quieran.
Gracias.
Gracias por venir.
So we're gonna go ahead and move on.
Gracias. Gracias.
Thank you. Gracias por venir. Oh, okay, go ahead. I feel so sad to come to the meeting and they don't come. If there's no funding.
There's no money. There's no money, mija.
I know, but that's why they don't have, because nothing's done.
Hi, my name is Maria Vargas Soto. I actually bought property here on 717 Main Street. And I work here and I work in Seattle. So I have a home over there and over here. So I haven't been over here. I only come here on the weekends and then sometimes maybe once a month. But my water bill is the same and I don't even use the water. It's always been 154, 174, but there's nobody there using the water. I don't. So how is it calculated if I'm not using the water?
Is that just your water or is that your bill in total?
My bill in total is like 174, but I'm not there. I'm not wasting.
So you still have to pay it, your, what do you call it? Minimum. Yeah, minimum consumption is what you still pay.
Even if you're not.
Yeah.
You have, that's.
Unless you call and you go inside the city hall and say, you know what, I want to turn my water off because I'm not here, then that's when you won't. But other than that, it's just.
I mean, I would love to do that, but I can't if I'm gonna be coming and visiting my mom. Also, has anybody taken any steps to call the health department or yourself to buy a kit and test the water?
Our water gets tested all the time. They
And
come in.
what's the results?
Just keep on with the chlorine. We just
But
have to
what
wait
are the
for chlorine.
results though? What?
I don't deal with that. The one who
Is there a
does.
way we could find out
Yeah.
to see if it's, hurting some people? I know that my mom's been having a lot of issues with her. My dad passed away last year. So he was sick, but he was the one that would provide, water here and there. Sometimes, she can't, her hips are out. So raising those gallons of water, it's really hard for her. So, but sometimes if she can't, we're all working. All our brothers and sisters, sometimes, they'll go and check on her real quick and fill her water. But the times that, she doesn't have that help, she has to cook with that water. But she's noticed though, since the bad smell, she's been getting nauseous, she's been throwing up. So that's why I would love for you guys to inform us what the water, if it's contaminated, what can it cause in the human body?
It's not contaminated.
It can't be.
Yeah,
They'd shut us down.
yeah, they would shut us down. We do get tested every day. So health department, we have a contractor that deals with health department. So I will reach out to Joe in the morning and I'll ask him. He does residuals every morning. He lets me know how the chlorine levels are. That's the first thing I want to know. And he'll let me know if the chlorine levels are low, if they're, going up. And he'll be like, they're not up there yet, they're in mid, So, I mean, we watch them, we have to. It's the guidelines, that we have to.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
some peace of mind for the residents here.
Yeah. And, like I said, you guys are always welcome to come in and ask. The girls may not know all the steps, so you may want to just ask for Joe. Joe can give you the answers, and if he's not sure, he'll, find out. But he's on it. I mean, he's every morning at those wells, he's checking them, making sure everything's okay. Even right now, he's at home, he's got it on his phone. He can see, he's monitoring everything. So he's got to make sure everything's.
Yeah, and then, another thing that, like Maria said, she has a daycare, when we all have kids. But is there any possible way, just like, those grants are coming in, is there a possibility they could ask for a grant for free water for people, like gallons of water for the people of Mabton, so they don't want to have to waste money on that?
We've never done gallons, but we have done water bottles, cases of water.
Yeah, that would be nice, to help everyone here with that cost, because now with the bridge being closed, you have to go all the way around. And then sometimes there's not even waters at the stores. So that would be a good.
So we can look into it, and see what we can do. I know grants are not just, oh, well, let me use your slide. We can't just get a grant because we want a slide. We can't just get a grant because we want this. Those grants have to come to us and we have to fall under a certain criteria to be eligible for.
And I know that there's grants, but there's people from Mabton or the council or the mayor could come. There's other types of, even through social media, it's like, donations, open, that, where you ask for, because I know that, in Auburn, when the pandemic hit, everything, water was given, food was given. There was resources, not only grants, but other government agencies that provide all that for free to the people. But people can't just ask, it has to come from, the mayor or someone, the city official, and then, they'll come in trucks and bring loads of water. I know that could happen because, I've seen it in Auburn.
Everywhere across the US.
So if you guys could look into that, because we worked volunteering, the schools, they brought loads and loads of detergent or it's water to help the people in those times of need. I think Mabton now needs it too.
I have a question. We have to move on the questions.
Thank
Sorry.
you.
Go ahead, one more.
Hi, my name is Alicia Cario. I've been living here for 16 years. My address is 23 Ave. Okay, not only you, the other girl too, I've been telling her too about sidewalks. In my street, there's no sidewalks at all. There's like half, but how my kids are getting to school, and plus the cars going fast, the cars are over the sidewalks.
I saw that today. I was on your street park actually.
Yeah, I've been fighting for years. I've been here 16 years. And then plus, this is not the first or second time. This is like the fourth Ave, they've been shooting. I reported to the cops and they investigated, but they have no solution for that. And it happens like 11 or 12. I know it's so late with my kids watching movies and stuff like that, but I can hear them and I get scared because I have 5 kids. And they're all upstairs with me. We stay downstairs to sleep. So every time we hear that, we get scared, we go downstairs or we hide or, that's scary. That's what, the thing is that we wanted, I want to because I live at 3rd Street and I hear that all the time. Even my own street, like down south where you live. I don't know if you heard it, gunshots.
I do hear.
Yeah, that too. Like a month ago, I heard a gunshot right there and 2 in the back where I live. So I was like, okay, there's no cops around that time. I'm not sure,
Yeah, we actually, let me start from the sidewalks thing.
Okay.
So 2 weeks ago, that was another thing we brought up about sidewalks. So our engineer that brings all the money to us when there's grants available and stuff, that was something that I had brought up, that we need sidewalks here in Mabton. So that's gonna be on the back burner because there's no money for that right now, unfortunately.
And that's why I go drop them off, pick up my kids down, trust the streets.
Yeah, I know.
And, I don't know if everybody heard about cars going fast and it's a 20,
Yeah.
So it's.
We have 4 officers and they are on pretty late into the morning, so don't feel like you can't call 911 because there is officers on duty.
Okay, can you let your officers know, 4th Ave, that's the main one that's always shooting in the back.
And they know, the thing is, when they start asking people, nobody wants to give their video footage.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we didn't see anything, or until it happens, they get hit, their vehicles get hit, then they want to start, oh, well, it was so-and-so, but that's not the way it works. You have to report it at all times, not just when it's convenient for you.
Yeah.
So and that's what happens.
There's a number I could call after hours.
You call the 911.
If they can't help me, because every time I call, they go, oh, you got to call to the sheriff or
so they'll go to the sheriff's dispatch because they dispatch for Mabton. We don't have a dispatch for Mabton, but we do have officers on duty. And, you know, they will come out.
Okay.
You know, and there's times where if our officers are already at home, they come back into town, you know. They'll just be at home an hour, if that, and they're called back in, and they do come back into town.
Yeah, because I talked to one of the cops and he was investigating, but he didn't have
Yeah.
no solution for that.
So, yeah, they have to, you know, be able to, if you see somebody, a car, license plate, color.
Oh, I can't, because this is the fourth act, I live in Third Ave, so.
Yeah,
I
so,
just
I mean,
need-
whenever
just need
anybody
the
sees
impulses.
anything, just, you know, get the number and stuff down.
Yeah.
We did get a grant for sidewalks, it's safe routes to school, and we'll talk to our.
Yeah, my son, he's a
engineers.
high school student and he needs to walk around. That too, the, like, right next to me, I don't wanna, you know, who's parking and stuff. They park over the sidewalk, supposedly sidewalk, and like, you get to tell them like to move it.
Yeah. So
I know the code enforcement has been telling them, but they don't listen, so, you know, my son needs to walk around and my other four, you know, I take them to school and pick them up, because I just, no, I can't.
I think Jamie said that we might be eligible for
Yeah.
one of those grants.
Yeah, you know, we'll look into, we just kind of wait till they come. I just,
Yeah, I'm not being nobody, I just wanna, you know, it's not, you're not the first one or the last one, the other mayor too did not listen to me, so.
no, I tried to listen to everybody. It just gets overwhelming because they want me to take care of it right there and then. And it's hard.
Yeah.
And I mean, today I was parked over there in front of your house actually, because I'm watching stuff, you know. That's being brought to my attention. Yesterday I was out, you know, I go out and I do a lot of the stuff that the officers cannot do, you know, like, hey, you know, dealing with homeless, come on guys, you can't be squatting, you know, stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm putting my life out there too, you know, but that's what I signed up for because I want to make this a better place for the residents,
Okay.
you know.
You got a long way to go.
Hmm?
You got a long way to go.
Well, I'm starting.
And nobody's
the
listening.
question is the water too.
They're
I'm
not.
not going to bring it up because it's been brought up so many times, but.
Okay, well, I'm gonna look into everybody's concerns. I'm gonna talk to my staff tomorrow. I'm gonna look into having a meeting with the representatives, see what we can do. See if there's any way we can, they can help us get some water. If not, I'll start reaching out to water distributors and see if they can donate water so we can get water to the public, you know. It's not a promise, but I'm gonna try my best. And, you know, if some of the council want to help make phone calls, you know, I would appreciate it, you know. I think if we can work together and everybody kind of call different, even Safeway, Walmart, you know, anybody that was willing to donate to the city of Mabton for the residents. So, okay.
And please look over like from what I have, the sidewalk and the fire art.
I'll take that into consideration. And we talked about that 2 weeks ago at our last meeting.
Okay.
So that is on my list.
Okay, all right, thank you so much.
Thank you for coming in. Okay. Last one, please.
Well, I have something to say too, if they let me go up.
I gave you a chance, you didn't want to.
You say for the last.
My name is Carol Swallow. I live at 228 Grove Street. And I've been here probably 50-some plus years. And for the last 30 years that I can count of, I've been in this building, it's changed a little bit. Same thing, water. I mean, I've been on TV, everything, and nothing's changed. And the 4 times that I have called, other than talking to you, probably the 5th time, well, the chlorine's low. Why is the chlorine low? You should have a person that's out there checking it all the time. I know how expensive chlorine is because I have a pool. I know how bad it is. So is that the reason that we don't have enough chlorine in our water?
No, so the chlorine, our pump that we have, it's a new system, so that was brought in a couple years ago. I don't know, I wasn't here, but with a whole new system that was put in the well, it's not very old, just a couple of years old. So apparently it was marking that the chlorine was going through, but it wasn't. It was shooting it back down. So when Joe went to check the residuals, it was low and he didn't understand why. So we called the contractor. Well, it wasn't shooting up. The chlorine wasn't doing what it's supposed to do, so there was no chlorine. But now there is, so now it's just taking a while to get up because it's gotta come back up.
Yeah, because I called Monday and she said,
Still.
well, the chlorine's low.
Yep,
I go again?
It's gotta do it. but he's on it now and they
Well, I'll
got
have a talk with him when I see him out there.
There
too.
you go.
And one more thing, yeah, because I will, I'm not afraid to talk. One more thing, over here, coming down Third, coming on to Bickleton Road. You have the cars parking like this on the sidewalks. You have to pull almost all the way out there, Rachel, to be able to see if there's not cars coming.
So they've been
It's bad.
asked to move already, and I will let Ian know again tomorrow, the code enforcer.
Yeah.
That's why I was parked over at her street today, because of the way everybody's parked.
Yeah.
And he was out there as well, next to
Well, I'd like to know who the code enforcer is, because.
He hasn't come to your house
No,
yet?
he has not yet.
Well, then you're
But-
you're doing everything you're supposed to. Yeah, you're not on the bad list.
But it's just the idea that too, I see him, you can't see him because his windows are so goddamn dark. But he'll go up the road, turn around, come back. What the hell has changed in less than 2-3 minutes? I don't think anything's gonna change. So maybe that'll go down my street, and they maybe go up, Laya Vanessa
I've
Street.
seen him and I've
No,
asked
I
him.
don't understand why he's doing that.
I've asked him.
Yeah, doesn't make any sense.
So I've asked him and I've talked to him about it. So.
Yeah, maybe tell him to roll his window down a little bit and wave or something, because there's one person I'm not gonna wave at, but him, I don't know him, so maybe stop by and say, hi, how you guys doing? I noticed you got weeds out there, but we don't burn them there. We throw them in the garbage, but,
No burn.
yeah, well, yeah, and it's always.
I'll send him to your house tomorrow.
Personally, I might like.
And you can tell him what you told me about the park.
Don't tell him you're related because he doesn't like you.
And another thing, I only met the guy one time, and he rubbed me so bad.
Who's that?
Your chief. So bad. I mean, I was embarrassed for him to be a new chief in town and not treat the community people better than what he did. I talked to Vera about it. I was very upset. And I've had all these officers, Finn, Tyson, Victor. I can't even think of all the officers that have been in my house. Tyson was like one of my sons. He came in, he got a plate of food, came by, wanted to know what was going on, what we seen. Come back, I'll be back later. I'm coming for Halloween, and I'm gonna come and eat homemade chili beef. That guy, and he could walk into my house anytime, him and his other partner. And these are the way that this chief and our officers should be. Victor stops by all the time. And I'm thinking, well, people are probably, oh, this is a big narc city over here. But it's not, because I treat him with respect. But the chief, no, I don't know what his problem was, but man, he was one of the rudest persons I've seen.
Can I ask you what he was doing?
Huh?
What did he tell you? I'd like to know.
Oh, well, at the time, we were putting a new roof on. We didn't know we needed a permit. We thought the company itself had the permit, right? And I'm not insinuating anything, but the guys that came and did the work, they didn't speak English. So when he showed up, he just like, less than 30 minutes left of work to do. Get off the roof. And they said, well, we're almost done.
Excuse me, only Elle and I have the right to stop one project like that, not the city police.
That's not his job.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
I'm sorry, but
it's
that's
At the
not.
time, it probably was.
city ordinance. Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
see, but we didn't know. I mean, we've been here all these years. We built the shed.
Oh.
That's 3 years ago. Nobody said nothing to us. But like I said, the guy knew. But he didn't treat, he doesn't treat the community right. And so we stopped the work. Well, what happened? It rained the next day. We called them. They came back right away and put plastic down. In the meantime, water's running into our seeds. So we had over $4,000 some damage. And we had to report to our insurance because he stopped the job. So then my husband said, in the meantime, he's there, and my husband says, well, can you wait a minute? He's on the phone with the main company, which was a lady. And he said, don't you pick your hand up to me. And my husband says, well, I can't talk to two people at once. And I'm trying to see if this company had the permit, if they got the permit, or who's reliable, because at the time, we've never ever had one. And he said, I am the code enforcer, and this is what I'm saying. And I mentioned Mike Britton at the time. I said, you know what, he was a code enforcer, and you never had one. any negative from anybody that lived here, say anything bad about him. He was a good man, very good man, treat people with respect. He would even tell us when it was permitted for burn ban. If you want, you can burn on the outside of your property, so the inside of your property looks nice. As long as there was no burn ban in effect, he did not care. So we always did it. But then when the burn ban, we can't burn anymore, so we know that. But he did it in such a nice way, and this guy,
So I'll talk to the chief.
well, I know he doesn't like me anymore, so.
Well, you know, actually, he hasn't said anything. Usually when he has an incident with a resident, he'll bring it to me and he hasn't, so.
Okay,
But just so you know, code enforcing is being enforced. People don't like it, but it hasn't been done in a long time, you know. And people will ask, why are you doing it? Because I care.
yeah, and I don't have a problem with them, I don't know him, I can't see him. I look in there and see, but you can't see.
I care about the way the city looks, and I think we can look 100% better than what, you know, we have.
Yeah. I
And,
mean,
you
you guys
know,
can go by my house. I mean,
yeah,
you
your
can
house
tell, we
looks
work
nice.
hard in our yard.
Yeah, no.
And
we
we're
do.
all in our 70s and we're still out there pulling weeds and doing everything. And two, another thing, they didn't spray this year, didn't have the money.
No, they did spray.
They didn't spray on Mrs. Valencia's side, they didn't spray.
We
And
have.
we watch all the time, because I have to yell at them not to
Well,
spray on
no,
mine
they're not
because of
gonna
my
spray during
flowers.
the week. We have somebody else spraying on weekends right now. So they did spray, well, they couldn't even really do it early spring because of the weather, but they did spray. And, he's contracted with the city. So he works at our wastewater plant and he does our spraying, Randy.
Yeah,
So
so
he did.
I just year
So
I
you
just
guys
seen
have to
one time.
remember, because you didn't see them do it, doesn't mean they didn't do it.
Well,
Because
they must be doing it early in the morning, because.
he does come out early in the morning. He's like at 4 or 5.
Well, and before we would always
Yeah.
see them.
Yeah.
Because I had to yell, I have flowers on the outside, on the city
So,
property,
you know,
excuse me, and
just-
tell them, don't spray here, because I have my flowers, I
Yeah.
put a lot of work into them,
Yeah.
and they don't spray.
Yeah.
But Mrs.
So just
Valencia
so
has her
you
son
know.
out there cleaning, down
Just-
there at another property, nobody ever did it.
So
So,
just so y'all know, if you don't see somebody, well, we haven't
no,
seen
no,
them,
no, right there.
you know, it's not that they're not doing it. They may go at different times. I switch up their, sometimes I'm like, hey, we're doing something else right now, last minute, let's go. But Mayor, no, let's go, we're doing something else, you know, so if you've seen them at a certain time, a certain day, around 1 to 2, then their day may have changed that day for them, you know, because I switch it up, I tend to switch it up. I don't want them to get into being the same schedule and then get comfortable.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Okay.
just, hopefully we get this water situation.
Oh, I'm
Because
gonna
that's the
work on
worst,
that.
that's the worst.
Thank you, Carol.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we will be moving on to 5, and I want to thank everybody.
That's
I will
okay, we're
look
gonna
into
have another
everybody's
meeting
concerns,
Tuesday.
okay? And we will get to the bottom of it. I will start looking into one for donations for water.
Well, suggestion on Crystal Springs water, they're really good on donating, even when you have that, the jugs that you get on a monthly basis.
Okay.
They'll skip like 6 months worth of your, you know.
So if we get donations, I don't want everybody to come back and say, oh, pues nomás me dieron dos galones. I mean, come on, people. I mean, we gotta work together, you know. I'm gonna do what I can, but again, if we're gonna be very limited to how much everybody gets, you
We'd
know.
be happy with that.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not one that says, oh, we're gonna give this person 3, just give them 3, or, oh, we're just, no. Everybody with me is across the board.
I do that.
Yeah, should be all
My
equal.
council, they know it. I don't pick and
No
choose.
matter
who's
how many
gonna get what.
families there's in the family.
Yeah,
All
everybody's
equal.
gonna get the.
Always.
I offer my time
Yes.
also, I will leave my information, if you guys are going to go to the state and we need signatures from all Mabton residents, I can go around with my daughters and get signatures if that's what we need to do.
I can volunteer. I'm on right now.
All right, so we're gonna.
You're gonna start that now.
You can volunteer.
I'm so glad you guys all came, because this is what we need. The
Yeah.
city needs people to talk. And I want to thank you guys for coming.
So we're gonna go ahead and go on to 5. So can I get a motion for the consent agenda, please? A through C?
I make a motion for the consent agenda,
I have a
A through
motion.
C.
Motion by Diane,
Second motion.
a second by Antonio, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Oh.
Motion carried. We have no public hearing tonight. We're gonna go ahead and go on to old business, what we talked about earlier, for the approval of the council review for WCIA for, full board, delegate. And you all know the job description is in the back, so,
We're gonna wait and see if you can do it and
let's go ahead and get one more person, and, me and Tony, and then if they come back and say, I can't do it, then we'll go ahead and, pass it off to Ann or Diane, unless they wanna do it.
Do the backup alternate?
Yeah, with Antonio.
Yeah.
So, and it'd be great for you, good experience, so it's in Yakima, but you can zoom in, and you can do the Zoom.
To the
at
office
City Hall.
again.
Sure. It's more knowledgeable in my little.
Okay, so then we're gonna go ahead and, Ann and Antonio will be, the full board delegates for this year. So if I can get a motion for that, please.
I approve the council review of the WICIA full board delegate job description.
I second the motion.
I have a motion by Diane, second by Ann, all in favor?
I,
Any opposed? Motion carried.
did you, is Tony gonna be the number one?
Yes.
And, okay, we need to make sure that somebody knows that.
So Antonio, you are first, and will be your backup, like she said.
Right there.
Okay.
So just fill out your paperwork, and then you can hand it into the girls tomorrow, or tonight, you can hand it into them. So we'll go ahead and go on to A, we have no new business. Council member reports, any reports from council members? Any staff reports, Larry?
Nope.
So, I just, no reports, just, a little, talk on our summer bash that the city put on this past weekend. Great success, had a great turnout. It was hot. We had a really nice lineup, for parade. And it was nice to see people down the street. You know, we went all the way down to the south, Water Tower Park. And so it was nice. We were able to go back on that way to cheap. We had a lot of security. We had sheriffs out here all day with us. So that was nice. You know, everybody felt safe and we didn't have any problems. Everything went smooth. So, that went good. We do have, this is really the chiefs, but I'm gonna go ahead. We're going to do National Night Out on August 5th, which is a Saturday. We are gonna be going from 4 to 9 this year, and it will be at Gazelle Park, and that is a fun-filled, free event. Everything will be free. Entertainment, food. Last year we did agua frescas, so we're doing that again. We're doing fruit cups, raspas. What's that?
We have pizza.
And we had pizza, we had hot dogs, we had hamburgers and chips, cake. We had
candy.
Yeah, candy. We had a lot of stuff. All the kids that came, we had over 200 kids. Everybody got a gift. You know, we got a lot of gifts, donations from Safeway, Walmart, Ace Hardware, everybody donated for the city. So we were pretty fortunate. So we're out working, getting stuff together for this event. So just so y'all know, we want to see everybody out here that night. You know, we don't want to just be a city where everyone's going to come in and complain. We want to be able to complain, but still see eye to eye and have a good time and enjoy, you know, because we all have to watch out for each other here. Okay? So with that, Bill, do you have anything to add? Bill?
No, I don't have anything, thanks.
Okay, so with that, we're gonna go ahead and adjourn this meeting at 8:18. Thank you, Bill, have a good evening.
Okay,
Thank you, Bill.
Oh, my, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.